If you made it to this point in the video, I have a channel update for you. I am moving. My immediate career goal is to promote from an account executive in my software sales job to an enterprise account executive as fast as possible. In today's video, I will be sharing with you 5 reasons why this is the best career path and why I'm personally pursuing this endeavor. As an account executive, I sell to corporate companies less than $2 billion in revenue. I have a $216,000 quarterly quota in which I work with 1,600 companies, some of them customers, many of them net new logos, and I am responsible for managing existing customer relationships and generating net new business. My annual quota is $860,000 of net new business generated in revenue by selling software licenses. The distinction between an account executive and an enterprise account executive is that an enterprise account executive works with the most important brands in the world, the largest companies by revenue count, by employee count, because the bigger the company, the bigger the problems you can solve, the more you can charge for your software sales solutions. At my company, enterprise account executives only work with accounts that do at least $5 billion in revenue and more. The first reason why I want to become an enterprise account executive is because this is clearly the best career path if you desire to be an entrepreneur one day, which I absolutely plan to start and build my own business. As you think about the skills needed to actually build a business, number one is how do you generate sales? That is how you grow. That is how you make money. And as you think about the skills required to be successful as an enterprise account executive, you need to be strategic. You need to have a learning mindset. You need to be very agile in being able to travel, move around, communicate with executives, speak their language, understand their business through your research, and then ultimately articulate that you've critically thought about, hey, this is something I think you should care about. This is why it matters to your business, and this is how my solution is going to help. There's a lot of sub skills in there, such as executive alignment, such as communication, presentation abilities, such as the ability to understand and use data. But ultimately, if you want to succeed as an enterprise account executive, you could absolutely also succeed as an entrepreneur because you are given, let's say, 50 companies that you can sell into, and you have to get strategic with identifying your territory plan. Where are the biggest areas of opportunity? Where's the white space? And then you go execute and try and build demand, lead generate, work with marketing. If you create a company, that's what you have to do as well. It's just going to be harder because you have less resources. But ultimately, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, especially in SaaS, software as a service, which is what I desire to do, what better career path than starting as an account executive, understanding how to prospect, how to generate pipeline, how to work deals, and then eventually become an enterprise account executive where you will further establish those skills so that it will be a very natural transition to starting your own business one day. The second reason why I want to become an enterprise account executive is the pay. It's incredibly lucrative. At age 26, my on-target earnings, which is your base pay, which is fixed salary, and your commission pay based on performance, essentially how well you do, you get paid a commission. So my on-target earnings annually is $207,000 at age 26. I fully expect to promote to an enterprise account executive by the end of this year, start of 2023, in which my on-target earning will exceed $250,000. Name another profession that, caveat, does not require you to sell your soul to make $250,000 a year this soon out of college. I'm less than 4 years out of college, and I believe by age 27, I will be making $250,000 a year as an enterprise account executive. Sales presents a unique opportunity where you learn a skill that will always be important and will always serve you well in your career, the ability to communicate, build value, sell, while also getting paid a lot of money in the process. I've made videos talking about what you can expect to make as an entry-level SDR, when you promote up to an account executive, senior account executive, and then enterprise account executive as well. Enterprise account executive is the holy grail of software sales because you can expect to make typically between $250,000 and $400,000 a year annually. And going back to the sell your soul point, we'll cover that more at the end of this video. But ultimately, when you think about what careers actually present that opportunity, it's performance-based careers. Investment banking, or other tech-related career paths such as engineering, coding, and also maybe management consulting as well. Through finance, you could become a private equity venture capitalist in which the upside is much larger, but I do believe you have to absolutely sell your soul to succeed in finance, whereas tech presents a lot more opportunities for work-life balance, and we'll talk about that in another point. Name another profession that you can make $250,000 a year less than 5 years out of school. The third reason I want to become an enterprise account executive is because the skill set will always be in demand, meaning the market will always pay you for your unique knowledge and skill set. There will be more technology jobs created in the next 2 decades. I can guarantee that. More software unicorns will continue to pop up, and a component of their go-to-market strategy along with marketing will be employing highly productive reps like you and I that can generate net new business. It's really important. It's never going away. And if you desire to start a business like I do, whenever you get some experience as an enterprise account executive or even just a normal account executive, and if you've demonstrated a track record of hitting and exceeding quota for over a year, you literally could get employed by almost any technology company, especially if you start at a company like mine that's reputable in the space. So you could learn to become an enterprise account executive. You could go start your business, and let's say the business absolutely flops and fails. You could then go back and look for new jobs. And if anything, you would be more sought after because you would have a larger breadth of experience. But ultimately, if you understand how to close business and run a deal cycle from start to finish, you will always have a job. Unlike many of the other jobs, I just saw an article the other day, truck drivers. They're increasing the minimum truck driver pay at Walmart to more money than an entry-level investment banking analyst at Goldman Sachs. So put that in perspective. You can make 6 figures right out of college, no experience as a truck driver. All of those truck drivers' jobs will most likely be displaced by automation and cars that can drive themselves. That's over 500,000 jobs. So if you think about that, that's a skill set you can get paid on, but ultimately it's not future-proof. Enterprise account executive is about as future-proof of a job as it comes. The fourth reason I want to become an enterprise account executive is because of the lifestyle. When I say lifestyle, I mean ability to work remote and also work-life balance. So when we think about working remote, this is something that I get a lot of heat for on my TikTok videos. I go into the office 5 days a week. I'm a 26-year-old guy, single, male, and I have all the time in the world to focus and dedicate to my career. So I like to go into the office, one, to get out of the house, to meet people. I enjoy the camaraderie, but I also like just being around people. But at the same point, as I empathize with people who may be later in their careers, with families, with the longer commute, the ability to work anywhere on your own terms is definitely something you want to look for in a job. Whereas being a lawyer at a big law firm or a consultant, it's going to require a lot of travel. It's going to require wearing stuffy clothes. It's going to require going on site a lot. As an enterprise account executive, you can work wherever you want because for the most part, you are selling in a virtual fashion through Zoom, Teams, whatever it may be. At that stage, when you're selling big deals, you will have to go on site to some customer deals for the bigger ones because that increases your probability. But for the most part, you can live wherever you want, and that's what I was told whenever I become an enterprise account executive. They said you can live wherever you want as long as you're in our region. So I work in the South, so I could live in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia. You never know, but you can live wherever you want because you have that flexibility with how you work. From a work-life balance standpoint, I choose to have no work-life balance, but as an enterprise account executive, you can decide to make of it what you want. You can say, hey, I'm gonna work 1,000,000 hours a week and try and become the most successful and close a lot of business. Or you could say, I'm gonna work a solid 40 to 50 hours a week. And that's what I see from a lot of these guys because I used to be an enterprise SDR and I worked with these guys. They're all very smart, very capable, competent, strategic. And you don't have to necessarily work 100 hours a week like you do in a finance career to get ahead, to be successful. Basically, your input of time is not directly correlated with the outcome you recognize in the form of performance and pay. You don't have to work 1,000,000 hours to be wildly successful. You can close $1,000,000 deal in the first quarter of the year, and let's say you hit your annual quota. You can't take a vacation the rest of the year because it's gonna really screw over that following year. Whenever you perform, whenever you hit your number, that's it. You are your own boss. So you set your own hours and you have a lot of autonomy in the role. And I think as you think about lifestyle, work-life balance, I can't think of a better career that presents a better opportunity to at least have some work-life balance while keeping that upside as well. The fifth reason I want to become an enterprise account executive is because it just sounds cool. The story about how I even got into software sales, for those of you who have not heard, I was in college, I was a senior, I had no job, no connections in the tech industry, no experience, no internships, not much money. And I was speaking with one of my friends and I said, hey man, like, you got any interviews coming up? What are you gonna do? And he said, I want to become an enterprise account executive. And I said, that sounds super cool. I'm interviewing with Camping World tomorrow. I'll let you know how it goes. So I went home and I wrote that down and I said, what is this? And I had no clue the technology industry was a thing. And now that I've stumbled my way into SaaS, I believe it's the best business in the entire world. And I will never not work in SaaS for the rest of my career because I think it's the best business model and it presents so much upside. So I want to serve as an inspiration to all of you to say, somebody with no background in tech, not overly smart, can start as an entry-level SDR, can grind by making tens of thousands of cold calls, can promote their way up the hierarchy to an account executive, and can eventually sharpen the saw to become elite enough to become an enterprise account executive. And I want to be able to share that message authentically with you guys because that is my career trajectory. That is what I am doing. That is what I have done. I'm in the trenches each and every day like many of you. I'm not just someone that's trying to sell you anything and talk about sales. I actually do the sales. So I'm trying to share with you what's working for me. And a long time ago, I said that would be really cool if I could go and do that. So I'm committed to seeing it through to become an enterprise account executive so I can do that full cycle start to finish. And then whenever you become an enterprise account executive, you can basically do that the rest of your career. The alternative path would be starting your own business or going into leadership, which also presents pros and cons as well, which I'd be happy to talk about in another video if you'd be interested. If you made it to this point in the video, I have a channel update for you. I am moving. If you are interested in knowing where I'm moving to, why, what led to that decision, subscribe to this channel now. Click on the first link in the description as well, and I'll be telling that entire story on Sales Prestige Podcast, my podcast where I reveal everything to you. So make sure to go subscribe. If you got value out of today's video, hit the like button now. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you in the next video. Bye.